Colleen Taylor.
Jordan Crook.
And Ryan Lawler.
And that's a wrap on the day for TechCrunch Disrupt, day 2.
Is it time to have a beer yet?
You know what I could use is a nice cold brewski.
Church key, perhaps.
Yeah.
I don't know if you guys remember.
This looks like it's a commercial or something, but we really just wanted a beer.
Yeah,
No.
we were really just thirsty.
So I don't know if you guys remember, but not last year, but at New York Disrupt, Adrian Grenier and friends introduced Church Key, which is in a steel can, and you have to use a church key to open it, like in the, I don't know, 50s, 60s, way before our time.
Before our time.
And that was considered a startup. And that's fine by me because that means we get beer like
It's
this
hardware
all the time.
Yeah, because they were a Disrupt launch, so that's
It's a
what we
hardware
like.
startup.
Yeah,
It's
so
delicious.
today was a good day. It was a good afternoon. There was this last batch of companies was definitely interesting. The session 6 was disrupting data was the theme.
And normally data sounds kind of sleepy to me. I know everyone's all excited about it because there's so much money in it, but data, I mean, the word data doesn't sound all that awesome, but these were really cool companies.
They were really cool. There were a lot of different ones. Let's go into the first one, Inner Food.
Inner Food, yeah.
It's an app that's really aimed at educating people about exactly what the ingredients are, at the ingredient level of the things that they're eating.
Yeah, so you scan, the backside of your food or whatever, the label, and it should give you the exact ingredients, and not in some sort of crazy acronym or not understandable. There's the word I'm looking for, the beer. In some strange language. It's something that you can actually understand what it means to your body, so that's nice.
Right, and also, I mean, there's a lot of like dietary functions for people who can't eat certain foods, or suggestions for people who are maybe pregnant, like what foods you should limit, that type of thing. The only thing that seemed weird to me, and the judges brought this up, is just there was just so much data, almost too much to go through or to list through.
It's a lot of data coming at you, and then there's also a lot of data that you actually have to input.
Right.
Which is difficult.
That's the beautiful Golden Gate Bridge. It's just a nice thing to look at.
There we go. All right. Yeah, so there's just a lot of input, and we always talk about how the fewer clicks, the better for most users. So that can be difficult.
I'm just hearing in my ear that our production directors are also opening up some beers, so that's fine.
Cheers, guys.
It's End of Tuesday. Yeah, so I think it was interesting, and the judges seemed to like both sides of it, but they did say that thing. It's like, what would be the hook to use it? Because it seems like it might be a chore to use it. You don't necessarily want to hear all about how bad monosodium glutamate is for you every day.
Nice.
MalluBe was the next one. MalluBe,
kind of like a Siri thing, right?
voice recognition, smartphone thing. Wow, $2 million.
Yeah,
it was like Siri that works,
no,
basically.
And doesn't talk back to you.
Right.
I don't want to hear that you're having a network connection problem. You know what I mean? Like, just give me what I need.
Right.
So.
I was impressed by how well it worked in the demo, and how quickly it turned back results, and how precise it was in like getting people what they wanted.
And he said there were actually 18 different domains that MalluBe functions in. So, you ask Siri to set a reminder or give you the weather. Those are domains, quote unquote, and 18 of them is pretty strong for a startup launch. So,
although the one thing I really liked Tony Conrad's comment, which is just like, if you're going to do search and voice recognition, and you're basically trying to take on Google, like, do something like go after a specific vertical and own that, because otherwise it's just too much. Getting people to use it, it's too difficult. So
that's a really good point. Yeah, absolutely.
And then the next one was Chronos. This was an interesting one. It's a mobile app aimed at helping people live their lives more intentionally, spend their time, monitor where they spend their time, and set goals of where they would like to be spending their time.
It kind of talks like it's almost a pedometer competitor in a way, just like kind of tracking your activity. You're sleeping for X amount of hours, you're walking for X amount of hours, you sit for this amount of time, and It lets you, I mean, they promise that it'll actually help you change your behavior after you see that kind of data and see what you're actually doing with your time. That's enough of a motivator, I guess.
Well, there was also that social component, which was kind of weird. I mean, this was the demo where the guy was telling us that he needed an app to spend more time with his girlfriend, right?
Like, that was a little funny because he put up how much time he spent. He put his data up and how much time he spent with how many people.
It was like 6 hours over a week.
It was a very small amount of time with his girlfriend and a lot of time with his co-founder, but that could have been because they were working on this pitch.
Yeah, I think that's a truth for most founders.
Yeah, that's probably true. Yeah,
Okay.
It's hard to be a founder girlfriend or
is.
boyfriend.
It is. It's hard to be a founder girlfriend, but I liked it. I liked the idea.
Yeah,
the
absolutely.
pedometer comparison is pretty apt. Path Map,
This is cool.
a real-time mobile A/B testing platform, and look, they're from Scranton, Pennsylvania, representing.
Yeah.
I like that.
They're great.
Yeah. So you thought this was cool?
Yeah, definitely. I think that there's, well, for one thing, you can actually push live updates to your app without having to go through the app store. So that in and of itself is just a feat, and developers will go crazy for that. On top of it, live A/B testing, and they actually, you know, I saw them in rehearsals too, and they have some cool stuff that they can do. I mean, you can actually see exactly where a user is clicking, the route that they took, and if you have a bug, you can see, oh, well, when they press this button after pressing X, X, Y, Z, that's what caused the crash. And it kind of gives developers a really easy way to triage their problems quickly. So I thought that was pretty amazing. But I think in terms of data and reaching developers, I think this will go over really well.
I think it's really something. It's a really cool idea for developers, and it's something that they definitely need. The only question I have is like what effect it has on performance, right? Because whatever code you're putting in there is probably going to impact like how your page loads and stuff like that in the web. But you know, frankly, I don't know. It's one of those things where I'd have to actually see it in.
You should be a judge, Ryan Lawler.
Thanks.
Maybe next year.
Asking a tough question.
That is a tough question. It reminds me of Heat Data, which was hacked together this weekend at the hackathon. It's cool. Mobile data of how people are using it is important. Analytics, A/B testing. Okay, and then the last one was audience choice.
Audience choice, SpinLister.
SpinLister.
I actually talked to you about that this morning.
You did. You had your eyeballs on this one, and they ended up there. Peer-to-peer bike rental.
Yeah, Airbnb for bikes.
Airbnb for bikes. And Lawler, you've talked to these
Yeah,
guys.
I've actually been following these guys for a while. I found out about them before they officially launched in New York and San Francisco. And I've written about them a couple times. I mean, I love peer-to-peer marketplaces just in general. Anytime you can connect people who have assets that they're not using with those who want to use them and more efficiently route that transaction, I think it's awesome. And I mean, the bike culture is pretty significant. So I think that there are a bunch of users out there potentially for them.
And I think that once you actually use something like this, your entire perspective changes. So I had written about and heard about Airbnb for a really long time and just recently started using it. And I can't tell you how excited I am about the money that I'm making and saving. It makes a whole difference in the way that I look at all peer-to-peer stuff. So I think that even just tapping into Airbnb users or people who are using other peer-to-peer marketplaces, that's already a pretty instant user base.
Yeah.
Someone living in your apartment right now?
Oh yeah, here? Someone's here.
Awesome.
Someone's there, all the way in New York.
Cool.
Be good.
Being good. Cool. So yeah, that was a nice group. Do you guys just real quick, any favorites from that batch?
Oh, that's hard.
I mean, I'm a biker, a bicyclist.
Yes.
So I like the idea of SpinLister, but I mean, just in terms of like pure tech, I think MalluBe is like pretty amazing in terms of like what it does.
Yeah.
So that's probably the most disruptive of the companies that are in this group.
And I hate to throw it back, but the company from last session that was doing the, oh man, I just started thinking totally about MalluBe and you lost my train of thought.
Prior knowledge?
Prior knowledge? No, it was the one.
Have another drink.
Expert
Take
Labs.
a breath. Oh, okay,
Expect
Mind Meld.
Labs. Expect
Yeah,
Labs.
Mind Meld. That was crazy.
Yeah, that was pretty crazy.
Like Siri during Skype.
Yeah.
Right.
I need that.
Yeah.
You will never be caught saying the wrong name or the wrong place again. That's amazing.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah.
I think that's my favorite for the day at least.
Cool. Cool.
All right. So we'll find out tomorrow who the finalists are.
We might find out tonight. I'm not
Okay.
sure. That the judges are deliberating now and people are talking about it. So it might be tonight, might be tomorrow. But then, yeah, tomorrow afternoon, the finalists will present in front of a very star-studded group of judges. Marissa Meyer, Mike Arrington, some other folks. Let's see, what's the lineup for tomorrow? We have a big lineup for tomorrow. In the morning, we have Travis Kalanick, who's the CEO of Uber, so that'll be cool.
Mm-hmm.
We have Ev Williams and Biz Stone, co-founders of Twitter, who are now working on Obvious. No,
Right.
not Obvious. I always get this
The
wrong.
other one.
Yeah,
No, it's obvious.
It's obvious, right?
Well, that's
Okay.
what our site says, so
Okay.
I think it's
All right,
the
it is
truth.
obvious, but it's obvious is sort of like this incubator that so many things have already come out of, and more ideas are coming out of it. Medium,
They've got
Lyft,
the fake meat
Right,
thing.
Lyft.
the fake meat thing. They're involved.
The fake meat
so
thing.
Yeah, they're
We might
creating
get
fake
to
meat.
eat some fake meat.
We've
Lab
also got David Sachs from Yammer,
David
which is
Sachs from
exciting.
Yammer.
Let's talk about Microsoft a little bit.
post-acquisition interview. So
Tell us how much richer you are today than you were a month ago.
Do you fly private? I bet that's the first question he gets. I
there
think
have
Michael
been a lot
Arrington
of specific questions about wealth and how these guys are spending, because you can't ignore it. I mean, there's a lot of money in tech. A lot of these
Right.
men and women have gotten very rich.
I know we've got Vinod Khosla.
And
later
then,
on.
yeah, in the afternoon, Vinod Khosla, which will be cool.
Mm-hmm.
He's always got some interesting things to say, and he never pulls punches.
And we can't
So,
forget that we have the iPhone tomorrow.
And of course, the iPhone announcement, or whatever Apple is saying.
Yeah, I'm hoping for an iPad mini.
Yeah.
I don't think that they'll do it, but I'm hoping for it.
Well,
Like
whatever
a
it is.
7-inch.
7.85 is what I think that they'll do. They could just surprise us all. There have been rumors of a 5-inch, 7-inch.
Right.
Looks like an iPod Touch. Looks like an iPod Nano. I mean, who knows what's going on? This rumor has been flying around for about 3.5, 4 years.
Right,
so,
right.
But either way, we're going to have an entire panel
Yeah.
dedicated to talking about it with Jim
Right.
Dalrymple, MG Siegler, Jason Snell, and Tim Stevens from Engadget, who's one of
Wow.
our sister sites. So
And we'll have something back here as well at 11, TechCrunch TV. So
Right.
for the
Yeah, we'll have
webcast, everything. We're going to be all over the Apple stuff, so you don't need to go anywhere else for all of your news. But we're going to wrap it up today, guys. We're going to keep drinking our beers. So thanks for
Okay.
watching, and we'll see you tomorrow.
cheers.
See ya.